Mrs. Johnson, Thursday would have been your son Kendrick's 18th birthday, and I know you're planning a party for him tomorrow. Tell me a little bit about what he was like.
He was fun. He was an athlete. He was a jokester. He was the life of our house.
I can't imagine how difficult that must be to not only to lose a son, but to try and get justice for him. Why do you continue to, the idea of having a party, is that to keep his spirit alive?
Yes, it is.
Mr. Johnson, originally investigators told you that Kendrick climbed into a gym mat, reaching for a shoe, and got stuck upside down, and that's how he died. When you first heard that, did it sound believable to you?
No, it didn't sound believable at all.
And you hired your own pathologist to autopsy Kendrick, and that pathologist concluded he died from non-accidental blunt force trauma, not accidental asphyxia, as the authorities had originally said. When you heard what your pathologist was saying, what went through your mind?
It went through my mind that, we was right from the beginning, and that we always suspected something happened. We just didn't know what happened, and it just confirmed my belief that we was right.
Did authorities, were they in contact with you throughout the investigation? Did you have confidence in them at the time?
We didn't have any confidence from the first time that we talked to the sheriff, and when he came with this cockamamie story of how they found Kendrick. So right there from the beginning, we had no reason to trust them at all, but because they didn't show us no justice.
Mrs. Johnson, how have you been getting through this? How do you get through each day?
Just to know that we're fighting for Kendrick is what get me up in the morning. Know we gotta fight a little harder every day.
Do you still talk to him?
I do. I tell him I love him and I miss him.
Does that help you get through the day?
That just gives me more motivation to keep fighting for him till we get justice.
Mr. Johnson, I know when you exhumed Kendrick's body, what I was just stunned to hear, and I'm sure you were as well, that, as you know, his internal organs, including, his heart, his brain, it had all been removed, and there was newspaper inside his body in place of those organs. Was there any indication by the funeral home director that they had done that his organs had been destroyed or were missing?
No, not at all. We talked to him 4 or 5 times or even more. He never indicated that had took place, not even once.
Mr. Johnson, I want to ask you the question I asked your wife. What do you want people to know about your son?
That Kendrick was a loving son. He was a good brother. He was just someone that, every parent all over the world will want to have a son like Kendrick. Kendrick was a great boy, and, he had good manners. He never got in trouble, not even once with the law, and he just was a nice child, Everyone would like to have a son like Kendrick.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, again, I'm so sorry for your loss, and I wish you the best in the days ahead. And Mr. King, I appreciate you being on as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.